Jewish people were here early and were active and very respected in the community. I've never heard about a single incident of anti-Semitism or anti-Jewishness of any kind, although I'm sure the Know-Nothings didn't like them. The first known burial here is 56, the last is 68, 1968. 22 headstones visible, but as with cemeteries of the era, there are likely more. Interestingly, many have Yiddish inscriptions. Local Jews organized the Placerville Hebrew Benevolent Society in 1854. In 1858, the Mountain Democrat reported the organization of a congregation. Property was acquired for a synagogue in 61 on Cottage Street, which is we're pretty much close to where we were just at there, this side of Highway 50. We assumed this cemetery was affiliated with what was ultimately an ill-fated synagogue. A well-documented 1878 freak windstorm hit the area. There's some great stories out of Gold Hill about buildings getting twisted around. It also blew the roof off the synagogue. The synagogue was rebuilt, but ultimately abandoned in 1903 due to declining attendance. This and other Jewish cemeteries in the Gold Country are managed by the Commission for Preservation of Pioneer Jewish Cemeteries and Landmarks. They no longer lock the gate, which is nice, but they don't seem to want any contact with locals. There's been the folks that lived in the house right over there were friends of ours. They moved recently, but they were Jewish and moved here because they loved being so proximate to the Jewish cemetery and repeatedly tried to reach out and offer to clean the place up and stuff, and we're told to leave it alone. And I also have tried to contact them and offered to clean the headstones. No luck so far. So they care for all the Jewish headstones in the Gold Country and are doing it, and God bless. A particularly endearing custom in Jewish cemeteries is the practice of leaving stones on the headstone as a way to show respect and remembrance for the deceased and comfort those who've lost a loved one. And last night I stopped by. It looks like there's only just one headstone, one rock on the headstone right there. All right. The most notable burial here is the Snow family. Snow's road between Camino and Pleasant Valley is named for them. German by birth, Samuel Snow studied medicine in France before immigrating to the United States in 1937. They're right over here. He arrived in New York on January 1 and soon completed his studies. He also met and married Paulina Fink, who was also German. Dr. and Mrs. Snow moved to Wisconsin, where he worked as a doctor and engaged in fur trading with the tribes. He received his naturalization papers in St. Croix, Wisconsin. In 1849, Sam and Paulina relocated to Council Bluffs, Iowa, where he bought a ranch and continued to trade with the Indians. Council Bluffs, of course, being a big setting out point for wagons. But the winters did not agree with Paulina, so they decided to move someplace warmer. The first child, Emmanuel, was born under a wagon on May 15, 1850, the very day they departed for California. They arrived in El Dorado County in August 1850. So that was a pretty short trip, May to August. They did well. And the kid's not buried here, but a couple of their other kids are. Paulina's headstone identifies her as the wife of Sussman. And of course, I just told you his name was Samuel, but turns out, I looked this up last night, Sussman was Samuel's middle name, so she liked to call him by his middle name. And she also has a footstone. I hadn't talked about that, but footstones, which are increasingly rare because they're easy to steal, but they were these small little markers with the buried person's initials on them placed at the foot. And so it's always cool when you find an old footstone. So Snow started a store here selling supplies to miners from a tent in Dogtown. Dogtown was in modern-day Pleasant Valley, and that was 50. In 51 or early 52, he bought property nearby and opened a hotel, store, and a 10-pin alley, reserving one room for his medical practice. Do a little doctoring on the side. The Snows would eventually have 8 children. There are some interesting, a lot of the stuff on these headstones is hard to read because it's so encrusted with lichen. A lot of it's also Yiddish, but we do have one that's probably more notable than the Snow grave, is we have a colon. So you guys see this symbol right here. I jokingly call these the Spock hands. So this. And that is an important symbol in the Jewish culture. It indicates the person buried as a Cohen, that is, a descendant of Aaron, the brother of Moses. They have inherited a priestly heritage. The positioning of the hands, or Cohen hands, is used when the Kohanim bless the congregation in synagogue. The symbol may only be used for a deceased male Cohen. The majority of those who have this priestly heritage have the last name of Cohen, a name which literally means priest in Hebrew. Those who have descended from Aaron. So that's pretty cool. We got an actual Cohen here. One day. They don't need to know.